John A. Wasn't 1996 about the time of the Lisa McPherson death? A real tragedy and a black eye for Scientology and Miscavige. Could this have been when the Pope decided to just go for the money and forget about service? I believe that that was definitely part of the picture as to why Miscavige veered off of trying to get Dianetics and Scientology services being sold as the main income source for Scientology. When Lisa McPherson happened, she was a woman who was in Clearwater, Florida in 96, 97 time, I believe, who, 95, 96, that's right, is when this all went down. And that was also at the same time as the Golden Age of Tech was released. It was on all same time period, same place at Flag. So Lisa was getting services. She somehow had some kind of a psychotic break, was out in the street running naked, and this was right after she'd been told she was clear, in Scientology. So the Scientologists got hold of her and got her out of the hospital where they'd taken her, and put her under a Type 3 watch. A Type 3 is a term in Scientology for when somebody has a psychotic break. And they put her under this Type 3 watch and had her start doing what's called the introspection rundown, which is a Hubbard invented series of actions that you take on somebody who's gone nuts in order to get them to not be nuts anymore. And that was kind of what they thought they were going to get. Instead, they ended up killing her, because she really needed professional help, and the Scientologists really have absolutely no idea what they're doing when it comes to treating real insanity. They just don't. Other than looking at things or taking a walk or being very calm and orderly with somebody, they don't know what else to do with somebody who's truly gone into a psychotic fit or situation. And that is what it looks like happened with Lisa McPherson. So she wasn't eating enough, she wasn't really there a whole lot, and so she ended up dying under their care. Huge problem, right? And I think it's the closest Miscavige has ever come to actually seeing anything like real jail time, because there was, a criminal investigation of this, and Scientology paid a lot of money, did a lot of schmoozing, and ended up destroying the career of the medical examiner involved to get that woman to change her story as to what the cause of death was. And so they skidded through that. They survived. Scientology survived that by the skin of their chinny chin chin. And I think that the lesson that David Miscavige took away from that was that selling and delivering auditing can be dangerous. I mean, he had his hands personally on Lisa McPherson's auditing and the supervision of her auditing. He's the one who said she was clear. So he was absolutely, partly responsible for what happened to her, and I think that freaked him out. And I think he went, this stuff can recoil in a really big way, so maybe we shouldn't be doing as much of it. And I think that's when you see the push. You start seeing this push in a direction away from delivering the actual goods of Dianetics and Scientology, and concentrating only on the materials, selling books and lectures, and on straight donations, which is building up the buildings and doing fundraising. And and that's conjecture on my part. I mean, maybe that had nothing to do with why Miscavige shifted gears as hard as he did, but there's no question that he did shift gears. And there's no question that he did take drastic actions to make training of Scientology auditors much more difficult. I mean, really, it is really night and day. I trained people before, and then I trained people after this golden age of tech that Miscavige unleashed in 1996, and it was night and day difference. And it was the difference between making auditors in a couple weeks and taking years to have to get somebody through the training that was necessary to be an auditor. And I think it's still pretty screwed up. They've done phase 2 a few years ago, to try to fix his 1996 mess ups. But Scientology is just collapsing in front of our eyes, so it's not really going anywhere again. So anyway, long story, short answer is, I do think that the Lisa McPherson case had something to do with why Miscavige shifted gears. I could be wrong about that, but the evidence all seems to kind of point to that, and it's something that we definitely do talk about in the X world as a distinct possibility.